Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Turns home on Scott Selections here for Saturday, October 15th. For again, today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. We had a nice winner in college football with Navy team total over 22.5 at minus 115 on DraftKings. Wasn't easy. Navy had a bunch of great drives for the majority of the game, and unfortunately, they squandered a bunch of good chances early on. However, Navy's offense picked it up in the second half, and eventually, Navy scored 34 points. Two touchdowns in the final 2.5 minutes. They still lost the game, but either way, we got there. I'll look for another winner here on Saturday. And for today's play of the day, going to actually go to an NFL game on Sunday, looking at a matchup between the Patriots and the Browns taking place on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this matchup, we like the road dog in this one. We like the Patriots +3 at minus 120 on BetMGM. Time recording of 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like the Patriots +3 in this spot. First reason, going through the recent form of each team, New England enters this game in much better form as the Patriots ended up winning last week against Detroit at home 29-0. They shut out one of the best offenses in the league. Amon-Ra St. Brown was back, so Detroit was actually relatively healthy offensively, and yet Goff couldn't do anything. And we know New England's defense is still a pretty good unit. Offensively, with Zappy, they actually looked decent. The receiving core ended up having a decent day, but Stevenson really was the main focal point of New England's offense, and I think they should be able to run the ball down Cleveland's throat once again after Eckler really torched this team last week. But I know Damian Harris is out. I'm not exactly concerned by it because Stevenson was so good last week as the starter. I think he should end up having a pretty big game in this matchup. But unlike New England, Cleveland has invented ways to lose games lately, and they have a couple of heartbreaking losses already, and we're not even halfway through the season. Cleveland last week lost to the Chargers. They were performing well throughout the game. Then, unfortunately, Brissett threw an interception in the red zone with about 3 minutes to go or so. Then the Chargers had a chance to ice the game. They went for it on 4th and 2. They failed, and Browns got another shot to win it, and they missed a field goal. So it was a double heartbreak last week. 2 weeks ago, lost another really close game to Atlanta, which was extremely upsetting because Mariota only completed 7 passes in the entire game, and Cleveland still lost. And earlier this season, Cleveland had that massive double-digit choke job to the Jets and Joe Flacco in the final 2 minutes. So the point is, Cleveland has really been awful at closing out games all season long, and I just think that fundamentally they're not a very good football team, and that's why they blow a bunch of leads late. And I think that could be the case in this one. But Cleveland will also be shorthanded in this matchup. I already mentioned the Harris injury for New England. That's basically it. The team is relatively clean. Cleveland, though, will be missing a couple of key defensive starters as Jadeveon Clowney and Denzel Ward have already been ruled out for this game. Now, Ward is easily Cleveland's best corner. Clowney is definitely the second best pass rusher, but you're just going through the actual form of this defense in general, and it's really just not a good unit at all. And I do think that you'll end up seeing Cleveland struggle as a result because of the fact that New England should end up doing a good job of running the ball, taking some play action shots, and Cleveland was never really good against the pass anyway. I think you might see New England burn this Cleveland secondary over the top a couple of times, but I really just don't see Cleveland getting many stops in this game, especially with all the injuries they're dealing with. Plus, this is kind of a long shot, but it is worth mentioning. There is an outside shot that Mac Jones plays in this game. He was practicing in a limited capacity all week. I'm assuming he won't play. It'll probably be Zappy, which doesn't really concern me, but there is a shot that New England will get a starting quarterback back. I got to throw that out there. But to go through some trends here, the Browns have been awful against the spread at home recently, as the Browns are 2-6 ATS into their last 8 home games. We know Cleveland offensively is a decent unit. New England defensively is still an underrated unit, and Cleveland's defense is an overall mess, and their fourth quarter execution offensively has really been a disaster for the last couple of weeks. I think New England has a great chance to win this game outright, but I do think you'll end up seeing more money coming in on New England as this line gets, or as the game gets closer to actually taking place. It's mostly 2.5. You can find 3 occasionally if you kind of look around for alternative lines, and it's only 10 cents on BetMGM. I think it's a good deal. I think New England might win the game, but I'll play it safe and I'll take the +3s. Play that once again here for Saturday, October 15th, is going to be on the Patriots +3 at minus 120 on BetMGM. Bye, everyone.